My name is Betty Jean, and I'm a senior at Arizona State University, and I will be presenting my app for the mobile development course, and it's called Smart Style. So in this slide, I have a brief chronological walkthrough of my app, but first I want to talk about what my app allows you to do before the walkthrough. So my app is basically an app that allows users to view their previous outfits and descriptions of those outfits and what rating they gave them, where they wore them, and what temperature it was when they were wearing the outfit. So the idea of this is for users to be able to figure out what to wear to certain areas and weathers and locations, so they will always be dressed comfortably and appropriately for their environment. So yeah, that's basically the general idea of the app. Now here's the walkthrough. So for the first theme that you see here, you get to see all the previous outfits that you've uploaded and all the information about them. You can just scroll through here. It's all in from the order is from the oldest outfit and it goes down to the most recent. And you're able to add new outfits by clicking here, which takes you here, where you're able to add a new photo of an outfit through your library or through your camera. You're also able to write a brief description of your outfit and your feelings about it or suggestions. And then you can add a rating out of 10 and click continue. So clicking continue will take you to this, which uses the map, Apple Maps, to figure out your current location. So when it figures out your current location, this also, although it is not visible in the app, it also gets the weather for the current location at the current time. So after getting the location and the weather and all of the previous information from here, when you click submit, it creates a new entry at the bottom, which will have everything. So this is the class diagram for what I just showed. So the view controller right here was the first thing that we saw earlier, and it uses a table view to place all the outfits in, and it also fetches all the outfits, and yeah. The uploader view controller is the second one that we saw, and that allows you to choose between your camera. This allows you to choose to get a photo from your camera or a library by using a UI segmented control, and it also allows you to put the other inputs in, such as rating through a UI text field, caption through a UI text view, which I chose a UI text view just because captions can be quite longer than something like a rating, where max would be 10 out of 10. I also used an image to store the image that users put in. And it also uses a prepare for a segue so that it sends the information here to the next view controller, which is the map view controller. And the map view controller essentially uses the MK map view and CLL location manager to display a map and get your current location on the map. Now when it gets your current location, you see that it'll call the weather getter, which calls the weather API to get the current weather for the city that you're located in. So after it calls that and you click submit, all of the necessary information is then sent and stored to the view controller. So a new outfit will be made. And this is the MVC diagram. Inside the view, we can do things such as react to taps and interactions, display lists of outfits and details about them, display picker views, show a map of the current location, display segmented controllers, display current chosen pictures, display editable rating and caption, and the back button, add button, all of that. And users are able to add a new outfit or go back. And the controller, it fetches the weather for you, fetches the location, it handles saving and retrieving data, it retrieves outfits, and it gets your current location, which sort of like fetches location. And when you update, it saves new outfit information with the model/core data, which stores the outfit information. So there are some capabilities. The capabilities of this project is that the app allows users to look through their previous outfits, insert new outfits with the weather, location, caption, and a rating. However, there are still some limitations with this app. For instance, you're not able to adjust the location and weather. So if the map somehow puts the location of the user in a location that they're currently not in, because sometimes there's bugs or glitches somehow, and the user will not be able to change the location with a pinpoint, which, so they would not be able to pinpoint, like move the pin around and find their actual location. They're also not able to manually type in the weather in case, for instance, they wanted to write in the weather of an outfit that they wore at 3 p.m., but now it's 10 p.m. The app will get the weather at 10 p.m. even though the user wanted to insert an outfit that they wore at 3 p.m. because, you're not able to directly modify the weather. I also did not include a delete functionality to the app. So users are not able to delete older outfits if they decided, they don't want to wear that outfit anymore or change their mind about it. They're also not able to organize the app better. So I think the app could be improved if users were able to organize by temperature or organize by location or maybe even organize by ratings. Basically, there's no way to sort or filter through the outfits that they've entered. Okay, so the lessons learned for this project is that I can't return data directly from an asynchronous task, so I need to use a completion handler. This took me a long time to figure out when I was using the asynchronous call to the weather API. I was trying to figure out why the weather kept on returning blank when I submitted a new cell, and eventually I figured out that it's because you can't return the weather from the asynchronous API call to the weather API. So after that, I figured out so I needed to use a completion handler, and therefore I learned how to use a completion handler as well. So in the end, with the usage of the completion handler, I was able to actually return the weather instead of it being blank. I also learned to start projects relatively early because this did take a lot of time to figure out. I realized, even though I didn't think it would take us too much time, the whole asynchronous API call thing really took a lot longer than I expected, so it is always good to start projects early so that there's always cushion for unexpected events like that. So what suggestions do I have for the class/project? Well, overall, I enjoyed the way that this class is formatted and this project. I thought it was helpful. So I don't have too many suggestions, but if I had to pick a few suggestions, I would say maybe improved communication. So perhaps a discussion board would be really great, where students can communicate with each other and maybe the professor easier, because I found that classes with an open discussion board, it's just a lot better, because a lot of the time students have the same questions, and instead of waiting for an email response, they can just go look at the discussion board and see if students have had similar problems and what the answers to those problems were, or maybe students can actually answer the questions that other students have too. So this will just make things a lot faster. I also think having more lab days would be nice. So even though we did have a decent amount of lab days, I think a little bit more would be great, just so that there's time for people to interact with the teaching assistants and figure out exactly how their lab is supposed to work and if they're doing anything wrong. I think that would be great. So yeah, overall, this is the end of my presentation for phase 3 of this project. Thanks for watching.